Well, firstly about this year, coming into this year was really tough, especially after I lost the championship last year by 1 point, the crash in qualifying in Macau. And I knew I sat down that evening after Macau, on the Friday or wherever, when I just had the accident. And I thought to myself, I'm not sure if I can handle this, I'm not sure if I can survive the accident, you know. To come so close to winning the championship and throwing it away like that was really, really tough to take. So from then I knew I had to mentally just shut off the whole year. I had to forget completely that 2013 happened. Even though I got reminded by it quite often during this year, mentally I had to shut it down. I had to totally forget about it. And so I had to make it seem that I didn't care about the championship at all. So that took a lot of work. It took me a couple of weeks to work that out in my head. And the whole 2014, it's almost like I couldn't breathe because I had to shut away that memory. So, you know, this weekend, the last race weekend was very big. You know, I knew I was so close to winning the title. So it was just a case of trying to manage it still, and obviously finally winning the title I can finally take a breath again. You know. Yeah, really. So finally put it to rest. What happened in 2013 and to do it after such a tough year, you know, such an up and down year. And of course the championship was a lot more competitive this year as well. So all those factors made it more special.
Well, talk to me about the ups and downs. What were these ups and downs for you this year?
Well, obviously I made it difficult for myself, I suppose, by not qualifying so well at some race weekends. Had some incidents. I suppose let's start with the downs. The downs was obviously, you know, I hit a very good friend of mine, March Lee at Shanghai, and that was quite hard to recover from because it was a complete accident, put him out of the race. And then also, you know, having the argument with Andre over the last race weekend was also tough as well. He's an old friend as well, and you know, we were fighting not just on the track but off the track. But you know, the highlights were the racing. You know, I managed to get some very good race wins. You know, raced very well, I thought. Recovered very well, you know, trying to set the lap times with a heavy car, 60 kilograms sometimes, 40 kilograms sometimes on the race one to get a good qualifying position for race two was key to this year. I was able to do that and that set me up for some good race wins in race two. So yeah, up and down, you know, especially on the last race weekend. You know, on the Saturday I had a 25-second penalty. And then to win the race on the Sunday, and Andre had the 25-second penalty, it kind of evened itself out. So I'm very happy to have won the championship.
Yeah, absolutely. Congratulations again. Now this is your second season with the Cup.
The third season.
Okay. Third season. But this is your first title.
Yes.
So, is there any key thing that changed this year for you?
You know what's so funny? During the year, people come up to me, oh, you're racing the Cup, you're challenging the championship, and they'd be like, so what are you going to get? You're going to get prize money, or you're going to get like a car or something like that? And I was like, no, I'm fighting for the trophy. I'm fighting for the Cup, and for me, that's all that matters. You know, it's why we fight hard for it. You know, there's a lot of prestige with this championship, and we fight for the honor of it. And, sweat, blood, and tears, I guess, for it.
Yeah, sounds like it. Now, was there? Were you confident that you could win from the beginning, other than the memories of last year, or was there a moment where you said, "Hey, you know what? I can do this."
I'm not so sure.
Hold off on that answering that question. Wait for this guy to walk out of the shot.
Yeah.
So once again, were you confident from at the start of the year, or was there a particular moment?
No, I was never confident. I've done a lot of sports over the years. Done a lot of sports psychology, and I don't ascribe to what I call the shoe adverts way of sports psychology, which is just do it. I believe I'm going to win the trophy. I always, that unfounded confidence is not a way I approach motor racing. I like the way Jackie Stewart does it. That's an approach that works for me, which is a realistic approach. To go ahead and say you're going to win the championship is very tough. I never thought that for the whole year. I always believed it was possible. I always approach every race, every practice session that I can be the fastest. But that doesn't mean I'm going to win the title. There are too many good drivers here. Too many things can happen. You know, a lot of things have happened before in the past. So I never had that overconfidence. You know, no time during even the last race weekend did I think I'm going to win the championship. It's just focusing on my results. I got to focus on my driving. I got to focus on getting the car right. And if the results happen and I win, great. So I don't know. It's a bit of a complicated way of answering your question, but no, some would call it slightly pessimistic.
Yeah.
But I feel it works for me.
Okay, I love that attitude. It makes you more down to earth.
Yeah.
You know? What's the highlight of you for this year?
Yeah, I mean the highlight was yesterday, obviously, to win the championship. Really up against the wall after Saturday. After on the first race, you know. After I got that penalty, I thought, it's no longer in my hands. You know, I knew if I won on race 2, the championship would be mine. But after I got the penalty after race 1, it wasn't in my hands. So I had to drive very craftily for race 2. I had to really attack Andre. So I had to try and put him under as much pressure as possible while defending. So I was able to do that. Okay, no one was able to overtake him and give me the points I needed, but he made a mistake. And that, in effect, handed me the title.
All right. Now, will we see you back here in 2015?
Definitely, I hope so. I love racing for Audi. It's a great championship. It's great people. We're very lucky. I'm not very lucky. I mean, we planned for it, but we have a great bunch of people we race with behind, setting up the scenes, and it's a great camaraderie between all the drivers. And while super competitive, we're all good friends, you know. And I definitely hope to be back.
Great. Well, could you just rephrase "you'll definitely be back"? So can you say like, "I'll definitely be back"?
Okay. Yeah. I'll definitely be back. You know, it's a great championship. I love racing for Audi. Good people here, and I'm looking forward to coming back next year.